Okay, in this video, I want to show you how to use a wider range of grammar on writing task 2, the essay from both the academic and the general training IELTS tests. Why is this important? Well, for grammatical range and accuracy. That term is from the band descriptors. The band descriptors tell us we need to use a wide range of structures, grammatical structures, with accuracy, in particular complex sentences, to score well. In this video, I'm going to show you some complex sentences which you can adapt on different essays. Okay, the 5 tasks, I really hope by now you can remember these. It's so important that you understand and are familiar with these different tasks. We have agree or disagree, advantages and disadvantages, 2 points of view and give your own, problem solution, and sometimes 2 questions. There may be variations of these tasks, but these are the basics. Okay, the structure. Sometimes you might only have 2 main body paragraphs. For the example here, I've shown 3, but the introduction, that should always have the 3 Ps. Paraphrase, your position, which you need throughout your essay, and a preview of the main points. Finally, you lead on to a conclusion where you should paraphrase your position and give a recommendation, most likely with an if sentence, something like, if I was the government, if I was a parent. That's a nice way to cap off your essay. Okay, here is another example of an essay question, a task for you. I'll give you a chance to read this. Okay, if you have identified this as a 2 views and give your own opinion essay, well done. Again, the prompt at the bottom is very clear. Discuss both views. So view 1, some people think that the government should financially assist writers to promote literature. The second view, others say that writers are no different from any other occupation, so they should not receive any help from the government. So we're going to discuss 2 views, and then we're going to give our own opinion. Now, just to reiterate from a previous video, in this case, I always think it's better that you have a different opinion from the 2 that are given. This means that you can avoid repetition. Repetition is bad. You will lose points for repeating the same ideas. Okay, let's have a look at the introduction. Here, I want to show you step by step how I would paraphrase this, because paraphrasing is also part of using a range of different grammatical structures. You can see I've highlighted the government should financially assist writers. That is active voice, right? This means that the government does the action. And you can see how I've paraphrased this. I've changed it to passive voice, whereby the authors do not do the action. The authors do not aid authors. So that's always a good way to demonstrate to the examiner that you can transform grammar. Usually you're going to get a chance in your paraphrasing and your introduction to do this. Now, I've also used lots of synonyms, so I've highlighted these in red. Let's see if you can match the synonyms. Okay, if you got think and you match that with believe, well done. Here's one that I really hope you remember, because it's highly likely, well, quite likely that you might have to talk about the government. So the government, the state. Financially, economically, assist, aided, and the reason we're using a different form of the verb is because we went from active to passive voice. Writers, authors, others say, opponents contend. So even though the focus here is on grammar in this video, I just wanted to highlight some vocabulary. Opponents contend, small phrases like that, hopefully you can remember those and use those again on the test. Occupation, workers. Again, we don't always have to go word to word. We can use different parts of speech as long as the meaning is the same. Non-monetary relates to financially. Support, again, that's assist. So, moving on to the main body paragraph, topic sentence, 2 supporting ideas, then the evidence with details. It could be an example or it could be a detailed explanation. Here is where I want to show you how you can use some complex sentences which you can adapt for any particular essay. A complex sentence has two parts, of which one needs the other to be meaningful. So the complex sentence here, there are two main reasons why. So this is actually known as a WH clause, where why is going to be followed by another clause. So why is actually the object, then we have a new clause. Why, new subject, certain people argue for. Now, I've underlined that because I believe in any essay you could use this as a nice topic sentence, which you can substitute the rest of the sentence, which is not underlined. So there are two main reasons why certain people argue for. Then on a different essay, you can complete that with the topic at hand. In this case, there are two main reasons why certain people argue for financial assistance for authors from the state for the promotion of literature. Okay, just have a look at some more synonyms. Again, promote, advancement. Now, even though you might think this is focusing on vocabulary, actually from a grammar point of view, I'm demonstrating to the examiner that I can switch between different parts of speech. Promote is a verb, advancement is the noun. So they're related, but we're using different parts of speech. Here is another main body paragraph, and on the other hand, critics of economic support for writers think that. Now, this is probably an easier complex sentence, but it still is a complex sentence. Think that. We can have verbs of thinking, such as think, believe. If we follow those verbs with that, we have a complex sentence because it requires another part of the sentence to give it meaning. So try to remember the parts that I've highlighted, and then you can substitute in your own ideas in your own essays. A final one, in my opinion, although promoting literature is important. So although means I'm going to have something which I don't think as strongly about, followed by something I feel strongly about. Although promoting literature is important, the government should only give non-financial aid. So here, for the purposes of the essay, I have an alternative position. So I think the government should help authors, but only with non-financial aid. So I have an alternative opinion, and I also have a complex sentence as one of my topic sentences. Hopefully a complex sentence which you can replicate with different ideas on your own essay. In the conclusion, again, I've told you this before, just start your conclusion with the cohesive device. In conclusion, I paraphrase my position. Literature can be promoted with alternative forms of state assistance to writers in order to advance literature. And let's finish our essay every time with a complex sentence. This is why I recommend giving a recommendation in your essay with an if sentence. If I was the government, on many essays you can imagine you're the government. If I was the government, I would. So an unreal situation, I'm imagining I'm the government, and I'm saying I would introduce special awards for authors to publicize both their writing and literature, the non-monetary way of helping authors. So to wrap up, develop complex sentences that you can use in any essay. So you might want to go back, pause the video, write down those sentences. Also, transform active to passive voice or vice versa where appropriate. Usually you can do that when you paraphrase in your introduction. Also, use alternative parts of speech of verb forms in addition to using synonyms. Think about it this way. If you don't have a good synonym, try to use a different part of speech, because then you're demonstrating to the examiner that you can transform grammar. Okay, so jump onto grade and see how well you can use a wide range of grammar in your essay. Practice until you are confident.